By the way, that World Series is one of the best World Series I have ever seen. Ever. But that's neither here nor there, is it, America? You know, I've been talking to you a lot about this fusion of Marxism and Islamism. Well, there is a piece at Fox News by Azra Nomani. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's exactly what I've said. They prove it right down to the last nickel. Ever hear of Linda Sarsour? Remember the Women's March, 2017? She's a Palestinian American. She is a true Jew hater. She is a Marxist. She is a grave threat. She preaches violence, in my humble opinion. And she's right in the middle of this. You know, Mr. Producer, you know, Mr. and Mrs. America, she's the one who mentored Zoran Mamdani. Did you folks know this? They kept it a secret a long time. A long time. For 10 years, they've been grooming this guy. 10 years. There was Soros money involved. There's a lot involved. And as this report points out, a database of 110 groups backing Mamdani, 110 of these groups backing Mamdani, exposes a tighter inner circle of organizations that identify as Muslim or socialist, a.k.a. Islamists or Marxists, working hand in glove with 76 Democrat Party affiliates. Remember, I've been saying this isn't an issue of the base. This is the new Democrat Party. Allied groups and unions. Particularly important in this political machine are two networks. Sarsour's Empower organizations, Empower, Muslim Power, Empower organizations, and another constellation of groups called M-Gage, E-M-Gage. She controls both. She works closely with the latter. She runs the former. And these organizations have been generously funded. In total, billionaire George Soros' Open Society philanthropies have given them millions, according to tax filings. Millions. What do you think of that, Mr. Producer? Altogether, they have annual revenues, of about $24 million. And they have worked to promote Mamdani's campaign with endorsements, fundraising, social media campaigns, and canvassing. The result, a carefully constructed political career that mainstreams the socialist goals, a.k.a. Marxist-Islamist goals, long embraced by Sarsour and fellow members of the Democratic Socialists of America. This is basically a communist Islamist operation. Folks, I have a question for you. Do you believe America's best days are still ahead? With the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence coming up in less than a year, my friends at the Heritage Foundation are taking stock of the current situation, and they need your input. They've launched a survey on America's future to gauge how Americans feel right now about where we are as a nation and where we're headed in the next 250 years. You know, for decades, your American values have been under attack, but now, with President Trump's administration in office, we have an opportunity to turn the tide and usher in a new golden age for America. But the Heritage Foundation needs to hear from you. What policies do patriots like you most care about? What do you believe are the defining principles of America? What legacy do you believe we should pass on to the next generation? Please visit heritage.org/Levin today and share your feedback and help shape the future of America. That's heritage.org/LEVIN. Paid for by the Heritage Foundation. Now, for the rest of you who are not in New York, and I've been warning about these Republicans who say, well, you know, let them win New York, and then we'll win everything else. It's a machine that is expressing itself in races from New York to Virginia, Minnesota, Texas, California, and more. With Empower and M-Gage aligning with the Democratic Socialists of America and the Democratic Party to propel candidates who may share their views. In a campaign called Defend and Advance, Engage Super PAC is pushing Mondami, and here's the one in the shadows that no one's paying attention to that drives me crazy here in Virginia. And Democratic Virginia Lieutenant Governor candidate Ghazala Hashmi as its star candidates. Ghazala Hashmi is an Islamist, a Marxist-Islamist, in my humble opinion, running for lieutenant governor as a Democrat. Now, you know what that means? A governor serves one term. That means if she wins the lieutenant governor position, she's one step away from being governor of Virginia, Mr. Producer, our first Marxist-Islamist governor in the entire country. Now, that's how I view her. That's my opinion. But apparently it's the opinion of the Democratic Socialists of America, because she's a priority. And she's on the undercard in Virginia, so people aren't paying attention. They pay attention to the governor's race, which is very important. Sears should win. They pay attention to the attorney general race. The Democrats a head case. But the lieutenant governor, this is how this group works. This is how this ideology works. Slip her in as lieutenant governor, this Ghazala Hashmi. And then she's one breath away from governor, the first Marxist-Islamist governor in the United States. You think I'm kidding about this stuff? Look at all the time I spend spelling it out, explaining it, proving it, showing you the substance of these things. Engage's Defend and Advance roster of supported candidates and office holders includes Dearborn, Michigan Mayor Abdullah Hammoud. Remember this guy from Dearbornistan? Remember how radical he is? Quote, I want you to know as mayor, you're not welcome here. Remember that one? He recently told a Christian pastor who objected to a proposal to name a street in honor of a local man who had allegedly praised terrorist groups Hamas and Hezbollah. The mayor said, and the day you move out of the city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city because you are not somebody who believes in coexistence. I didn't think Hamas and Hezbollah did either. And yet, a few days ago, 40,000 individuals who think like this mayor, who are extremists like this mayor, celebrated in the streets. In the streets. This Mondami is among the worst of the worst. He's backed by the worst of the worst. He hangs out with the worst imams. He defends Hamas. Now he's kind of backtracking because he wants to win the election, but he said what he said. His mother is funded in part by Qatar. Qatar has posted on social media and is backing Mondami. I don't care who considers Qatar a best friend. They're not my best friend, as far as I'm concerned. Not because, for a zillion reasons, including 9/11. Including 9/11. And what did this clown get out of 9/11? J.D. Vance was right. His auntie was afraid to go on the subway because she might get weird looks because of her hijab. But his auntie was in Tanzania, never was in the United States. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant my father's first cousin. You're a liar and a fraud, a phony victim. Say Islamophobia anytime you're attacked. Pretend you're defending the Muslim faith when we have moderate Muslims coming out and saying they don't like this guy. Like Zuhdi Jasser, who will be on my show Saturday. Boy, I have a hell of a show Saturday. In addition to my opening statement, where I'm going to really let this guy have it. It was Zuhdi Jasser, who's Muslim, who despises these radicals. We have our buddy Ben Shapiro as our second guest. Fantastic. Fantastic show Saturday. Life, Liberty, and Levin. I hope you'll set your DVR. I hope you'll watch it live. Sunday for the full hour, we're going to have Douglas Murray. He's never done a full hour, but he's brilliant. He's a scholar. incredibly articulate. And again, I said I want to highlight some people who are particularly wise, particularly important. So some shows will do two guests who are also wise and important, and some shows will do one guest. Some people who I have on the two-guest show will at some point be on the one-guest show. But in any event, I want to expose you as much as I can to these people. So we're not just doing a conga line of broadcasting. I don't like it myself. I don't watch it myself. So Mamdani isn't the Manchurian candidate. He's the Islamist candidate. He was groomed for this for 10 years. For 10 years, he was groomed for this. And now here he is. On the Marxist side, he keeps talking about the Vienna housing system. In Vienna, Austria. And 60% of the people there live in government-subsidized houses. And he keeps pointing to that as an example. It wouldn't take much for a media outlet to spend a little bit of time, other than Fox and other than me, to take a look at that housing system. The rents are going sky high. There's literally no maintenance. The buildings are falling apart because that's what happens when the government runs things. That's his idea. Oh, and his tax plan. He wants to lower taxes in communities that are majority brown and black, and he wants to raise taxes in communities that are majority white. So he wants a tax system based on racism. Oh, and of course the cops. We all know you NYPD, you really work for the Jews. You really work for the IDF. Something I would think Fuentes and Tucker would be saying. No, Mr. Producer? And this is what I mean by the joining of the mentally ill, the unhinged, with the Fuentes types, the Carlson types, the Bannon types, with the Mamdani types, the Linda Sarsour types. In the end, they wind up in the same place, don't they? Hating their fellow countrymen, hating their own country, and trying to turn one against the other. And for all you evangelical Christians out there and other Christians, just remember, the Bible doesn't mean what it says. God's Word doesn't mean what it says. No. If you're a Christian, and you believe in the Holy Land, and you believe that the Holy Land should be protected, then you have a mental disease, according to Tucker Carlson. And his little Adolf nodding his head up and down. How sick are these bastards? We have a Judeo-Christian-based country, and they attack the Jews and the Christians. And then they want you to believe they're MAGA and America first. They are sleazeballs. They are grifters. They are punks. Same with those on the left.